Welcome, everybody, to Tao of the Day. This is Martin John, and I am here to present the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is an ancient text written about 600 BCE presumably by Lao Tzu. We can kind of talk about what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is not, but that's not really the point of any of this. So much of what we want to do is just kind of be here and accept things as they are for how they appear to us. We have a guest already. How wonderful. Yeah.
Hey,
Cortez,
what's
how you
going
doing?
on, Martin? How you
I'm
doing?
doing well. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
Good. I'm
I'm
glad to
great,
hear.
brother. Up
Yeah.
working.
Yeah. So, are you familiar with Tao of the Day? I don't believe we talked before, have we?
I'm not familiar. I was Juju from Dropping Gems invited me to this app, and so I'm just wandering around.
All right. This is Tao of the Day, and this is based on the Tao Te Ching. If you're familiar, it's an ancient text written about 600 BCE, and it consists of 81 short verses. And what I do is I ask people to pick a number between 1 and 81, and then from there we'll explore this chapter, talk about what you feel about it, and then we'll go through it line by line. How's that sound?
Awesome. So is it an actual guide or book, or because
Yeah,
I'm
it's an
actually not
actual book.
familiar?
It was a book that was written 600 BCE by this guy Lao Tzu, and it's been
Lao
translated
Tzu.
many,
Okay,
many
okay.
times.
So is that the Art of War one?
Okay, so the Art of War is not Lao Tzu, but I don't believe. But yes, it is. It
Because
is.
I am a part of
The
the
Art of War was
inside.
written about 200 years after,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it uses a lot of Taoist principles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
let's touch on it. I'm
you are
interested.
along.
I'm an intellectual, so I love
Yeah.
to learn new, interesting information
So the Art of
or
War was
knowledge.
Sun Tzu,
Sun Tzu. Okay, that is why that
and
that
yeah,
gets twisted, right?
and that was like written well after the Tao Te Ching, but
No,
utilized a
so
lot.
what is the consistency of it? You said the Darwin's theory, or it's his
So
theory
well, this is the text that eventually birthed Taoism.
supports the Taoism. So
Well, no,
Taoism,
no, no, no. Taoism didn't exist before
right?
this, right?
Okay,
Like
understood.
Tao does. So Tao is greater than God, right? Tao is bigger
Okay,
than God, right? Tao is the void that God was. That
so the
God.
darkness before
Yes,
the
yes,
got
absolutely.
you for the word became
Yeah,
got you.
before anything,
So,
there was Tao.
in Dor, as I understand it, Dorism, it's a evolution.
So no, I mean things evolve, but you evolve. Tao. So let's pick a number, and then we can kind of
Sure.
dive into this.
Can I get one? Chapter one.
Chapter one. That's actually a beautiful chapter to start with because that's where it all really begins. And the wonderful thing about the Tao is it really understands one thing that many, many things like don't. And I'm going to go ahead and read one, which states words are particular. They cannot express Tao. You have to have a name is to be limited to the manifestation. The nameless is the source of all manifestation. Self-referential, those who name themselves. To experience the depth of the mystery, stop identifying. To experience the shallowness of manifestation, differentiate. Either way, no one can tell. The difference is in the experience.
Is that it?
That's it.
That is awesome. That is a awesome tie into manifestation, law of attraction. So I guess when we talk about natural law, those are the original laws before God gave Moses the tablets. Um, So it's very interesting to hear a theory, or not necessarily a theory, but a concept of how to live and how to be somewhat be as a God on earth. You know, we definitely have that power, and that's what caused the fallen angels to become jealous because we had free will and power, and they had to do what if we go by that particular story, they had to do what pretty much God said in heaven. So it's a very interesting tie-in to those different forms of knowledge that can help you manifest money, finances, peace, love, happiness, joy,
All of those are words.
all those things. Hmm.
So when we look at that, like when we start to break this down line by line, the first line is words are particular. They cannot express Tao. How does that
Words are
land for you?
particular. Stop there, Martin. Words are particular. They cannot express Tao. Now, Tao being the emptiness, but the power of God. If I'm correct in that analogy.
That all depends on how you define God.
Well, if you say Tao was defined as what,
Words are particular. They cannot express Tao.
and Tao is originally
I will
defined.
like it is not defined, right? Words are particular.
Interesting.
They
Okay,
cannot
so
express Tao.
words have as much power to push past what Tao is what you're saying, Martin?
Words are particular. So meaning
Words are
that
particular.
like every word has a particular meaning to everybody that hears it or speaks it.
Words have power.
Words do not have power, is what
Words
this
do
is
not
saying.
have power.
Yeah,
Interesting.
this is saying words are particular, meaning that they have a particular space
Hmm.
and they cannot express the power. They cannot express the depth. They cannot express the full reach of Tao.
Mm.
Now we move on to the next line. To have a name is to be limited to the manifestation. The nameless is the source of all manifestation.
How would you define that?
Well, if you put a name to anything, you have limited it. Even
I,
you,
I'm
like you,
married. I'm single. I'm great,
alive,
good, alive.
you're a man, you're anything. As soon as you finish the sentence, I am, with any word, even
Hmm.
if you continue to add words to it, you are only limiting yourself to what you can understand.
So how can you break that limit?
You stop, you say, I am, period. I
Because
am.
I am is I am.
I am.
Got you.
That's it. Now we don't need to identify with anything, right? Now, when we cannot put a
Just what?
name to it,
Walk in your nature.
right? Like you just be. And it's not even your nature.
It's a nature.
It is just and don't forget nature is a word.
That's a word.
Limited.
But we use words in the
We
English
have to, but we
language.
have to
Right.
also understand
There's energy, but there's
there's
energy, there's
energy,
other
but
things.
you can like all of that stuff is still coming from you
Doubt.
and your concept, and that you are connected to Tao. So it could be so much more
True.
than you could ever fathom. And that's where this starts. And this is why one is such a beautiful intro to Tao, is because it starts with the one thing a lot of religions don't express, that no matter how much we try to express what God is, He is more. No matter how much we try to express what Tao is, it is going to be more. So, no matter what you hear in these 81 verses, it is not it. What you are reading is not it. What you are thinking is not it. What you expect it to be is not it.
Because
Because,
we are limited anyway.
right, because words are particular, and that's how we are continuing to communicate. And they cannot express this. Now, the next line moves into an interesting place. Self referential, those who name name themselves. This goes back to the I am
Define referential.
referential, self-referential. We refer to ourselves,
Okay.
right? So because we refer to ourselves, we name things outside of ourselves, but also name ourselves. Why do we name ourselves?
Now,
Because
why are
we
we
refer
naming
back to ourselves.
ourselves if words don't have? Okay, but go ahead.
What was that?
Why are we naming ourselves if words don't have power?
Because we've been fooled into thinking that it does. We have been on a path that has honored words over truth,
Mm. Love, truth, and power.
right?
Mhm.
Proof over truth is how we live our life today, right? Like if you can prove to me, and I'm easy to prove to because I'm human, you can prove to me that
And the
you're a
truth
good
can
person.
withstand investigation.
Right. And then you don't have to prove anything once you have truth. Then you can experience just being.
Hmm. That
You
is
don't have to have a
interesting.
reason. You don't have to have anything. And then it goes on to experience the depth of the mystery. Stop identifying. Stop identifying yourself as in relation to other things and stop identifying those things as what they are. Because what if tomorrow they are not those things?
Mm. And it's inevitable. Change is.
That's right. That's right. And then to experience the shallowness of manifestation, differentiate.
The
Differentiate.
shallowness of manifestation differentiation or differential.
Differentiate. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
How
make
would
things different.
you explain that?
Well, manifestation is just you. You as a being that happens to be alive.
So manifestation is not an action.
No. No, not at all.
So whatever is manifested is something that is supposed to happen anyway. It's you.
Well, that's fatalist. But you experience that manifestation differently than everybody else. So I mean it's just happening. It's that's why it's shallow. Because it's not truth.
Because you can't describe it.
No, because words are particular. Once you
There you go.
and that's
I was
and
waiting on you to get back
yeah,
to
and
this,
that's
the
and that's how
foundation
we
of it.
differentiate. We
Hmm.
differentiate by utilizing words so that we can have particular experiences. We can run around and say my childhood was bad. We can run around and say I am, like I am climbing a tree. I can do all of these things, but maybe that stuff's not happening at all. I don't know if you've ever
Right. Once you
experienced
say I am,
hallucinations.
you're actually putting that into power. Words into
Into
power.
right, right. You're
When
taking
words
words
are
and
meaningless.
giving them power that they don't have intrinsically. The power exists in not identifying. The power exists in being.
Because we can identify as trees planted by the rivers of water. We
Right.
can identify as
You can identify as a man,
crystals.
you can identify as a
Right.
woman, you can identify as anything. And as soon as you identify as that, you're identifying as a word which is particular, which means now you have to uphold the particular.
To earthly.
Right. But really, you're bigger than that. You're
Mm.
more than that.
That's dope. That's a dope concept.
And
But
then this
it
finishes up.
makes you reach for a higher self. It
Yeah.
definitely doesn't keep you limited.
Right. And so this verse wraps up in this really beautiful way that states either way, whether you experience the full mystery or just the shallowness of manifestation, no one can tell. The
Hmm.
difference is in your experience. The difference is in the experience that you're having. Are you having a deep, fulfilling experience? Or are you having a shallow experience that differentiates everything and you become a victim or you become, or however,
Right.
you
High
become someone
vibration versus low vibration.
I, once again, like all
But
of
I
that
mean,
starts to
if you would,
identify, right? Like
right,
that,
right, right, or
like once you
defining
do
it,
that,
right.
once you identify as being high vibration, whoops, now you're in the identity. You are differentiating high from low.
Mm. When there is in Tao, there is no high or low.
No,
It
there's no
just
good or
is.
bad. There just is. And here you are being, and when you can live by the rule that is in your heart, not the rule of the land or the rule of words,
Hmm.
then you will act in accordance with Tao. And you will be able to experience the depth of the mystery, as it states here.
Which makes you a dope person. Man, I appreciate you, man, for allowing me to come on your platform, brother.
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate you coming up. So I'm here talking about the Tao like weekdays in the morning. So,
Word.
you'll see me around.
All right, man, for sure. I'm about 30 seconds out,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I definitely I'm going to reach for more knowledge into that. I never really heard that concept broken down in that way, which makes you greater than any word or any identification. So it's very interesting. So I'll definitely be looking into that, bro.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a great text, and it's really easy to sort of adopt
It's
and
not because I had to get some, that's why I was,
oh
yeah.
yeah you get used to it after a time. You get used to it after a time. I appreciate you coming up, man. Dr. Rao, Cortez, if you stick around, Dr. Rao's gonna probably drop some nuggets on some things that we were talking about. My
Hi,
friend, how are
John.
you?
How are you?
I am very well. I'm very well.
Yeah, I got a few minutes. I got 10:30, but then I will just chat with my friend. So I
Oh
call.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's so beautiful to be in this space of just openness.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I see that you are having discussion about Brahman or Tao.
Yep, yep, yep.
I want to give you an example that may probably make it easier for people to grasp. Maybe
Oh please, yeah.
yeah. Try that. Okay, you go to a movie, right?
Hmm.
And a father and son went to a movie, right? And the son was
Mm.
beginning, he was seeing for the movie for the first time, and he wanted to see the movie completely, but the movie already, the trailer started, and they're all coming, and he wanted to know what's going on. The uh, father explains, oh, there is the screen, and on the screen they project this movie, and we kind of live the experience of somebody's creation of this movie, what happened, and all that. And so, where is the screen? Because the movie is going on, you know.
Yeah.
And says, "Oh, there is the screen in front of you. Oh, is that where this particular character is there?" And others say, "No, no, no. Beyond that. Oh, that is that the land and all the trees that you see in the movie? No, no, no. Beyond that, you know." So the kid is trying to see the screen within the movie playing.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So you cannot see the Brahman while you are in that life
Right.
entangled.
It's great to see it because like here in this text, it was like the shallowness of manifestation, and the
Yeah.
manifestation is just the light, and it is so shallow. It's like it is just hitting the screen, and there's actually no substance there.
It's the manifestation of the life itself.
Yes.
The light is thrown, that's okay, but then what is happening in the life,
Right.
is from through your mind that actually from the Brahman, the mind is eliminated to see the things. Are the seen things also eliminated? So without that light of light, you don't have anything.
Right.
It's not a concept. That's a
No. 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 No.
that's
Yeah,
truth.
and it is the
Yeah.
screen. It is the
You see,
screen.
did you see the struggle? A mind trying to another mind trying to explain another mind, but when both are beyond the both are within the movie, but the movie is beyond
Right.
and the screen is beyond the movie. You get it?
Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I understand that. I know that. I know that analogy, and it doesn't always come to mind, but I love
Yeah.
that analogy of just
You
like,
got to be in that. You got to be in that. Then you will be okay to tell them.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's like what it is trying. The mind that knows whatever it knows is only operating from that. That means the character within the movie is thinking it is real, and he's kind of the other person also seeing with the mind, the child is also thinking that movie is the reality.
right.
He cannot see the what is beyond and what is not touched by it. This is
Yeah.
very significant consequence, because suppose you go every day looking at your own witness consciousness or being it. Just you are that, right? You're just that. And then trying to identify everybody in that ultimate consciousness, which you call Tao or Brahman,
Yeah.
whatever. And that is beyond this trying to understand intellect or the mind.
Right.
And once you are out of it, then you are one with the God or one with the consciousness, and then you can go and serve all those manifested out of that Brahman.
Right. Because then all manifestation is
Yeah,
attainable, or it's not. You don't even attain anything
you
because
don't
you're not even there.
you don't have to see. There is
Oh.
something about the more you are in that self, in that Brahman, in the Tao, by really realizing it, not even understanding, not even making a concept of it, but just
Mm-hmm.
realizing it there, the more higher and higher you are into that, the more thoughts stop.
Right.
So I
And the
would
more
say,
you can just.
yeah, I would
I
say,
know there are days for me where it's like I can go like long stretches where I have no thought in my head and I just kind of
no,
sit and I
this
just do things.
is kind of fertility in exercise. This kind
Yeah.
of, because if you stay in your self inquiry and within yourself, you are very peaceful. But when you want to come out, explain to all the understanding and everything, mind has to understand this. But then you have to go beyond mind. That's the
Yes. That's the thing. Like and every time
yeah.
we have to explain, we have to be in mind.
Yeah. See, like I come to you, I don't come with a mind or a conclusion or a concept.
Right.
You know, I come in Brahman established there, and that's it. So whatever comes, just spontaneous. I don't plan anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then what happens is this concept of sinner and all those things can be looked down upon like a, do we have to make them, or it's a question of degree of ignorance, right? Some people
Mm.
not know and they are doing stuff that come out of their mind, and then they are not really good, but they consider them as sins and all that. But it's a
Yeah.
degree. It doesn't mean good person is not good, a bad person should be appreciated. Not that. What it is even the bad person has the Brahman, but he is not aware of it.
Yeah.
Good person also may not be aware of it because he is caught in this quality thing, right?
Right. He's caught in the I am good. I
Yeah.
am good.
But
Like I can do good things.
yeah, paradoxically, once you are established in the Brahma, or you realize that you are already established there, then very peaceful, and you don't do anything wrong because you know everybody is your brethren,
Yeah.
and you
And
don't do it.
there is no well and there is no wrong.
Yeah, and then also the sinner, instead of calling him, instead of making him feel indignant, or we kind of blame them or whatever we do with them, we don't want to do that because we know they're in a different step of the ladder of from ignorance to knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
That that
And they are still
yeah.
Brahman. They are
But
still Tao.
the thing is,
They are connected.
don't get caught with their level of mind
No.
because you just want to please them.
Be right. I want to please my mind, or I want to
Yeah.
please. Yeah, I
Uh,
want to be
or
right. Like that's
sometimes
the worst.
we want to make peace or whatever the diplomatic, and they're just we
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
not.
an
Yeah.
animosity. That's where it is. So be the boy, but able to grasp a screen that's already playing the life of game,
Mm-hmm. That's
and
beautiful.
then you be there. Then you can the son, what the father said then, okay, wait till the interval, then the movie stopped and the screen is evident.
Yes.
Then the kids was able to understand, oh, the movie comes from the camera, from the projector, and then
Right.
coming on that. And otherwise, there is a substance called screen, and that is the screen. And most of the problems we have is we don't really recognize the screen that's already there.
Yeah. Because we don't. Because we never stop the movie.
Yeah. Yes. When I start the movie, that is the projection of the
That's
mind.
right. And the projection is so entertaining for so
Yeah.
many people. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, this is the easy path. This is just me kind of being able to
Yeah.
engage in the story. But it's like
Yeah.
it's not the story. You're not the
Yeah.
story.
It could be entertaining, it could be sad, but it
Yeah,
is,
well, that's entertaining. It's
yeah,
entertaining to be sad.
en-
Like that's
en-
okay.
enticing you,
Yes.
engaging you in that.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And then we get
Yeah.
caught up in that and never want
Now,
to stop that movie sometimes.
but the question, but for people like us, this is a question: are you realizing that you are screen and be in that most of the time?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
a
Ugh, such a good question.
okay. It's just time for me. I have to
Yes,
attend.
you have to go. I much love to you, friend, and we will
Okay.
talk again soon.
Bye.
Oh, it's always great to have Dr. Rao help me kind of describe things and express them. If you have a number between 1 and 81 you want to select, please do. I'm going to read that number 1 again because it's such an important one. And I want to also kind of point out this is my translation. I will be coming, this translation will be available. I'll probably be doing some crowdfunding for some, to put this in print. So if you're interested in learning about that, stay in touch with me. Check me out on Instagram at Martin John. All my links are in my profile. Let me go ahead and read this again. Words are particular. They cannot express Tao. To have a name is to be limited to manifestation. The nameless is the source of all manifestation. Self-referential, those who name themselves. To experience the depth of the mystery, stop identifying. To experience the shallowness of manifestation, differentiate. Either way, no one can tell. The difference is in the experience. When I was going through this, it was really important for me to kind of really recognize that this is a powerful verse. This is what's going to start your journey into the Tao and into what Dr. Rao and I are talking about, right? Like when that boy is in the theater and pointing out, is Brad Pitt, is that Tao, is the landscape Tao, like who is what is Tao, and he can't see the screen, and this is why the screen is particular. But you can't, just because you can say screen, you can't see the screen while you're projecting the movie. All you do is see the movie. You see the movement. You see the action. You see all the light. That's such a big concept. And no matter what word I put to it, screen or Tao, it can't it can't be described because it can't even be identified because it's deeper than that. It's deeper than the experience, and it's deeper than you can experience with your senses. Is what I mean. The experience To experience the depth of the mystery. Stop identifying. Stop identifying anything on the screen. Don't identify the camera. Don't identify the light. Don't identify the people, the landscape, any of it. Don't identify with any of it. Like get beyond that shallowness. To experience the shallowness of manifestation, sure, all of those things, from Brad Pitt to the trees to the landscape to the sky to the lights to it all, like all of that stuff is just the shallowness of what's going on, and you can change that at any point. You just have to change what's going on in the camera, and the camera is what's going on within you. Either way, no one can tell, and I loved that when I was like, this is the big part. Like, you could go about your life pretending like you got it all together. You can go about your life pretending like you know some shit. And you can fool people into thinking that's true. You could do all sorts of things to make sure that other people don't question how together you got your shit. But no one's going to be able to know, so it doesn't matter if you do or not. Now you'll know. But you might not want to recognize it. If you've been trying to fool other people, you're trying to fool yourself. And so the difference is in the experience of your life. And this is why the work that I do when we talk about recovering yourself talks a lot about triggers. If you get triggered by someone pointing some shit out, if you get angry by something that's going on in your life, well, that's something for you to look at, something for you to take note of. Thank you so much for joining me for Tao of the Day. I'm going to call it there. What a great number one we had today. This is like the first Tao. Such a beautiful approach. Cortez, I want to thank you for bringing in number one, and what a great choice for you as someone who is just entering the world of Tao. And we also call it Brahman, depending on what part of the world you're in. Here in the West, we talk about God, but I look at God as being the next thing, right? God is still on the projector. God is still on the screen. God is not the screen. The screen is Tao. The screen is Brahman. And when you can get beyond the manifestation, get beyond the names, get beyond it all, we recognize, like if the Bible would have started like, okay, God cannot be explained, but we're going to do our best, I'd have a little more respect for the Bible. And that's why so much of that's why I have so much respect for the Tao, because the book that kind of brings it together, the Tao Te Ching, starts with that. So the first words are particular. They cannot express Tao. What I am trying to do here by writing this out cannot be done, but I'm going to do my best to get it across to you in some way. And then it says, look, whether you're doing it or not, you're not going to know. It's in the experience. The experience of it, you're going to know. You can think you're having a great experience of Tao. You can think you're going out having a great experience of depth and mystery and all that. And it might not be the case until you get to a place where that is more true. Then you recognize, oh, I was fucking up. That wasn't it. So I always like to tell people, if you think you've got it, you don't. Keep going. When you know you never get it, that's when you know that at least you're in the ballpark. Thank you so much for joining me for Tao of the Day. My name is Martin John. If you benefit from the work I do, consider giving me a tip through Venmo at martinjohn_Garcia. Otherwise, you can find me. You can message me here. If I don't follow you here, you can ask me a question on my Ask Me Anything, and you can reach out to me over on Instagram at Martin John, or Twitter. I don't check as often, but that's at Martin John as well. Thank you so much for joining me for Tao of the Day, and until next time, keep recovering yourself.